Alright, so you want to win your next game of Twilight Imperium, and you're going to play as Sardakk N'orr. As you know, Twilight Imperium is a game of scarce resources, so it's very important to get as many of them in the first round as possible, so that you can start spending them from the next round. First, I will talk about the basics that you need to do, and then later in the video I will give you some tips on how to utilize your factions even better. So the goal for you in the very first round is to gain control of 2 systems, build 5 units in your home system, research 1 tech, and also have a rough plan for the remainder of the game. If you have any questions or comments to this video, feel free to write them in the section below. I want to highlight 3 of Sardakk N'orr's strengths. The first one is they have overall better units due to Unrelenting, which is their only racial ability that gives them +1 to all combat rolls. Number 2, they can invade planets without ships using their commander. I will come more into this ability later in this video. And 3, your agent can help defend planets. It says at the end of your tactical action, you can place 2 infantry on a planet in the active system, which is also pretty nice. I also want to highlight 3 weaknesses that Sardakk N'orr has. The first one is that they start with 0 tech, which means you are behind everybody else with generally 2 techs. The second thing is that your starting units are very slow. Your carriers can only move 1 system, and getting to even gravity drive is a long way with 0 starting techs. And the last weakness I want to highlight is that you start with a cruiser, which is your only offensive or defensive unit, which makes you very vulnerable. One of the first things you're going to do when you start a game of Twilight Imperium is to either build or select your slice, and I recommend that you get 1 or more tech skips so that you can research your unit technologies and skipping the lowest tier, because you are starting with no technologies, so any help you can get researching those racial technologies make it easier for you. And the other thing I want to recommend is that you get a ton of resources, resource heavy planets, so that you can either research technology in case a tech objective comes out, or you can use the resources to building your fleet, especially the Exotrireme 1, which is the replacement unit of the Dreadnought for Sardakk N'orr. If we take a look at your home system, you can see it consists of 2 planets, one resource planet and 1 3 resources and 1 influence planet. And your starting units are 2 carriers, 1 cruiser, 1 space dock, 1 PDS, and 5 infantry. And luckily you are one of the factions that has a fleet with capacity, so that you, during your first 2 turns in a round, can gain control of 2 systems. Just quickly show it here. But one of your disadvantages is that you only have a cruiser to defend your newly taken planets. So I would recommend not spreading too thin during the first round, to make sure that you can actually defend your slice from other factions that may have more mobility than you. When it comes to your home system, you start with a total of 4 resources, and you can either go secondary on tech with that, but I wouldn't recommend that, again because you have so little fleet. So I would definitely use those 4 resources to build more plastic, and that could for instance be 1 more cruiser, 2 fighters and 2 infantry. When it comes to technologies, you start with these technologies, and as you can see there are absolutely 0, but you still have 2 racial technologies. The first one is the Exotrireme 2, and it's an upgraded unit of the Dreadnought. It says this unit cannot be destroyed by direct hit action cards, just like the ordinary Dreadnought. But you also have this Kamikaze ability that says after a round of space combat, you may destroy this unit to destroy up to 2 ships in this system. And if you have this secret objective, destroy their greatest ship, destroy another player's warson or flagship, then this ability can be very, very powerful. Usually the other players protect their flagship or warson quite well. So with this ability you get to choose what 2 ships are destroyed along with your Exotrireme. So that could be a powerful way to score this secret objective. The other racial technology you have is the Valkyrie particle weave. After making combat rolls during a round of ground combat, if your opponent produced one or more hits, you produce one additional hit. And this is a very powerful technology to have during ground combat. And if, let's just say that you have an equal amount of infantry on a planet, you are either attacking or defending, then having this technology would certainly favor you in that combat. But as you can see, these two techs require 2 blues, 1 yellow and 2 red technologies before you can even research these. Getting 5 or even 7 technologies is highly unlikely in a single game of Twilight Imperium. So you will probably have to choose between either the Extra Trireme 2 or the Valkyrie particle weave. In general, I would prefer the Extra Trireme 2 over this Valkyrie particle weave, as I usually found more combat in space than on the planets. But when you decide in what direction you want to go, I would let the public objectives help you choosing that. I have found these public objectives here, 2 stage 1s and their equivalent stage 2s. The first one is own 2 technologies in each of 2 colors. And then I would definitely go into blue. For one of, besides getting you closer to the Extra Trireme 2, you can also research gravity drive. That will also help you with your movement on the map. And that's your equivalent in the stage 2. That says own 2 technologies in each of 4 colors. The other public objective that may be revealed is own 2 unit upgrades or own 3 unit upgrades. And again, researching the Exo Trireme 2 will help you get closer to scoring these 2 public objectives. And if you go into blue for the Exo Trireme, you could also research Carrier 2 as the other unit upgrade technology to be able to score this. It's hard to give good advice on technologies when playing Sardakk N'orr, because you start with absolutely 0 technologies. So I would definitely look at the public objectives and what technologies could help you in your current game, in that current round where you actually have the chance to research them. When it comes to strategy cards, my first selection would be to get the technology strategy card. And it says research 1 technology and spend 6 resources to research 1 technology. I would obviously skip the second part of it, as we don't have 6 resources, but I would definitely research 1 technology, and that would probably be either anti-mass deflectors or dark energy tap, so that we can research gravity drive in round 2. And the reason why I would suggest you to get the technology strategy card is that if one of the public objectives that I mentioned earlier, where you need either 2 unit upgrades or 2 techs in 2 colors, then you're still in the race of scoring those objectives. If somebody else has taken the technology card, then my second pick would be construction. It says place 1 PDS or 1 space dock on a planet you control, and place 1 PDS on a planet you control. So let's say that we have already gained control of this system here. Then I would probably put down a space dock here and also a PDS on the same planet, because it's a 3 resource system and our units are fairly slow to move around. So having a forward space dock here will help you get further into to the map whenever you in the next round may build, for instance, Dreadnought or your Extra Trireme 1 and some fighter, and then either round 2 or round 3, depending on what strategy card you choose, you are able to move even further and gain control of more planets further. The third choice would be the trade strategy card. It says gain 3 trade goods, replenish commodities, choose any number of other players. Those players use the secondary ability of this strategy card without spending a command token. So basically you get to choose what other players who can replenish their commodities. But before selecting this card, I would talk to either the yellow or the green player, or maybe both, to hear if they want to send a ship to me so that we can negotiate a trade using this card. And again, you want these trade goods or extra resources so you can both use the secondary of the technology card that some other player has picked, And you can also build in your home system and get more plastic out on the table. My last choice would be to get the diplomacy card, and it says choose one system other than Megator Rex system that contains a planet you control. Each other player places a command token from their reinforcements in that system, then ready up to 2 exhausted planets you control. So the first part about other players activating a system is not relevant for us in round 1, but the then ready up to 2 exhausted planets you control are definitely useful. So if no player wanted to trade with you before you pick that card, you may go for diplomacy. Well, in this example here, we have Bakal, which is a 3 resource planet, and we also got our home planet Kinara, which is also 3 resource planet. So whenever you play the diplomacy card, you get to unexhaust those 2 planets, and then you have 6 resources available for you to use. And again, I would use those on the secondary ability of technology and building more plastic in your home system. The final tip is to remember to use your agent called Tro. It says at the end of a player's tactical action, you may exhaust this card. If you do that player may place 2 infantry from their reinforcements on a planet they control in the active system. So let's say that you in round 1 has already gained control of this system here, and now you want to gain control of this system. So you activate it, move a carrier, 2 infantry, and you explore the planets like you do. And then at the end of this tactical action, you flip this card, and you may place 2 infantry on one of the planets in that system. In this way you can defend your planets even further. Now I want to show you how you can use your commander to gain control of planets without using a carrier or any other ship to move those infantry to a planet. Whenever you unlock your commander, and you do that by controlling 5 planets in non-home systems, and we have that here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then you can use your commander, and it says during the commit ground forces step, you can commit up to 1 ground force from each planet in the active system and each planet in adjacent systems that do not contain one of your command tokens. And these 2 systems does not contain any of our command tokens. So now we can use the commander to move ground forces to Lodor, and it doesn't matter whether the green player controls Lodor at the moment or you do. You can simply use your commander to move ground forces there and gain control of this planet, even though they have in the system. And you could also, if the green player had a ground force on this planet, actually go directly to ground combat on this planet. Another way to earn a few trade goods is to sell your promissory note called the Tickler Legion. And it says at the start of an invasion combat, apply +1 to the result of each of your unit's combat rolls during this combat. If your opponent is the N'orr player, apply -1 to the result of each of his unit's combat rolls during this combat. Then return this card to the N'orr player. So you're basically selling your faction ability called Unrelenting to another player for a single combat. So you want to make sure that you sell it to a player that is not going to use it against you, because if he has it, you don't have it. But it should be fairly easy to sell it to either the white, blue or purple player if they are battling each other, or if they are battling your green or yellow neighbors. And this way you can just gain a few more trade goods to help you with your economy. And that's it. I hope you liked the video. I wish you the best of luck with your next game of Twilight Imperium. And if you like this video, please click the like button. If you want to learn how to use your hero, then you can watch this video here. And the last thing is, well, good luck with your next game. I hope you win, and see you in the next one.